You're not burned out because you're doing too much. You're burned out because you're doing it all manually. And trust me, I have been there before, wearing all the ding dang hats in my business, doing every little thing by hand, answering all the emails, the DMs, uploading, scheduling, forget scheduling, manually posting everything. And I was wondering why I had absolutely no energy and I felt totally out of flow. I take it you've been there too. Now, my business runs even when I'm having lunch with my kids, going out, whatever it is. I'm having fun again in my business and fun again in my life because I have a life again. And that's learning how to build systems that scale. And I'm going to show you all of that. Before we go deeper into all things systems, I have something that will help you right now, and that's activate your client magnetism. You're going to find once you have systems at scale, you will have no problem activating your client magnetism. So go to the link in the top of the description or the pinned comments and get activate your client magnetism now. Trust me, you'll thank me later. All right, let's dive in. I want to talk about this cycle that maybe you've been on, and I alluded to just a moment ago. It's called the energy spin cycle. Now, I want you to imagine when you're washing your clothes and you want to get all the water out of your clothes so they dry faster, you put it on a spin cycle, right? Of course, that automatically happens with washing machines now, but let's just say that you want to skip that for some reason. You have all these soggy clothes and they don't dry out as fast. That's why we have the spin cycle. It makes the dryer more efficient. Now, for our clothes, that is wonderful and great. We want all the water to come out. But for us as humans, as spiritual beings, we want all of our energy to stay in as much as possible. We don't want to get it spun out. I think you know where I'm going here. When you are doing all the things manually, it's a posting each individual to each individual social media account, each individual post, you're doing that manually. You are going in and you're answering all your DMs manually. You're answering all your emails manually. You are going in and doing all your setups manually every time, doing your onboarding manually every time, doing all of your scheduling of clients manually every time. Honey, all you're doing is creating more and more energy leaks. You're spinning your energy out. It's like we spin the water out in the in the rinse cycle, in the spin cycle. Okay, it's bad and I'm getting a little loopy here. Probably need a little bit of water. But this is the thing. If you're like, well, I do all those things manually because I don't want to do automations. Oh, because automations are kind of cold and mechanical. And then I feel like out of alignment with my clients if anything in my business is automated. That's why I need to do it all manually. Okay, I'm going to tell you a secret. Okay, that's not true. You will still feel in alignment with your clients. Your clients will still feel your energy. What's really going on is a control issue. You feel like you have to be in control of every little thing. And we all know that it's this or something better, right? This or something better that we can trust in the divine to for our outcomes. But when we're trying to control everything, we're restricting what can be done. Okay? I'm just throwing that little tidbit in for you. Also, through that control, or one of the reasons that we might be looking at wanting this level of control, because, well, if we're in control of things, we can regulate flow. How many clients come in? There's a reason I talked about shrinking in the title of this video, right? Because when that flow is too high and we don't have systems that can sustain us, honey, we shrink, we control, we do everything to meter it. Consciously or subconsciously, we're trying to meter that flow so we don't get overwhelmed and flame out. Okay? And we do that especially when we start feeling our energy leaking everywhere. That's like a little warning sign. That's like that. When the lights come on your dashboard when you're driving, you're like, there's something wrong. Perhaps I should check in on that. And even if you don't consciously notice that light, subconsciously you notice and you pull over, or you tell someone when you're ready to actually focus on it. Right? So it's like a warning sign. And our energy leaks are that warning sign. Right? It also makes us, besides the control issues, baby, you get stuck in reactive mode. You're reacting to everything because everything becomes its own 5 alarm fire. And I know that's not how I want to live. I don't want to live in a 5 alarm fire. I don't want to live with my nervous system absolutely dysregulated just because I'm bringing my gifts into the world. Right? I'm thinking you don't want that either. What we actually want to be, it is more in a receptive mode, right? Where we're actually engaging, when we're giving from overflow, and when we're receiving with ease. But when we are putting out fires all the time, we're not able to receive. We're not able to get into a receptive mode because we're just like boom, 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 like playing whack-a-mole the whole time, right? Just trying to figure out where's the next little bomb coming from. That's not the life we want to lead, honey. Not the life we want to lead at all. So the thing you have to remember is when your energy is leaking out like that, when it's just getting spun out like the water in the spin cycle, it usually means your systems are broken, or at least they're not sacred. Oh. So let's start figuring out how to create those sacred systems. And again, I just want to recap this with you. Automation is a form of energy protection. It lets you be ready and present in the moment and in flow when it matters the most. Okay? And I know that's what you truly want. You want to really be there for your clients when they really need you to be there in that capacity. You want to be there for your friends and your family and yourself when you really need to be. All right. This isn't about outsourcing your magic, which is something I hear quite a bit. Not about outsourcing your magic. You are preserving your magic, right? You are filling yourself up so that it becomes simple, easy, effortless, because you're always giving from overflow. It's always ready to be there. It's tapped up. It's not like pulling from the bottom of the well where you can't find anything. Your systems give you that capacity, that flow capacity, that presence capacity. That's the beauty that systems give you. It allows you to be creative. It allows you to really engage with your community in a way that has depth, that has meaning, that isn't like I'm talking to you right now, but I have 5 million things flying off in the back of my brain, so I'm not really here. Right? You want to totally know it's all handled and you can relax and you can be present. And that presence is how systems expand expand your intuition. Fully expand your intuition. So I want you to know it's not about replacing the essence of you, your you-ish you. It's about holding you in a way that's like a beautiful hug. So you can know that you can just go out there and be you, big, bright, and beautiful you. So for me personally, when I got my systems right, I'm not going to say right. When I got my systems about 80 to 90%, my business stopped feeling like chaos, right? And it started feeling like this amazing ritual that I get to participate in. It was good. So I know you're probably like, why 80, 90%? Because my systems are still evolving, right? Because I'm a human who is still evolving. So my systems evolve too. But the beauty of having systems that scale is they evolve with me. And that evolution, or sometimes I like to call it seasons, I'm in different seasons at different times. Right? Sometimes I'm in a season and I know I talk a lot about like don't hustle harder, hustle is bad. Sometimes hustle is called for. I'm just going to be honest. Sometimes hustle is called for. But for me, it's not called for all that much. But when I'm in that season of hustle, or what usually more feels like to me sacred flow, when I'm in that season, baby, I'm head down, I'm all in, and I'm bending time. Right? So there's those seasons. And then there's those seasons where I need to kick back on a couch and relax, or go outside and be in the garden. Look at the butterflies and the hummingbirds. Like, I have those seasons too, and all things in between. So my systems can flow with me no matter what season I'm in, no matter what growth point of my business that I'm in. That's the beauty of scalable systems. And that's why to me I think it's so important to share that, and to just realize 80 to 90% there is good, because you're going to evolve and it's going to change anyway, right? It's a constant evolving, changing, living system like us. All right, let me get into the demo because I've been wanting to get into the demo. So give me a second, let me switch over and bring on my phone. Give me a second here. We're going to bring on the phone. Okay. There's phone. So I actually did want to prep something out for you here. So this is a reel that I did that's on my Instagram. I'm going to go here. And I'm just going to go here because I don't want the reel to actually play, right? I want to show you something. This is how automations can feel sacred and seamless. So here's a reel. It just lives on my Instagram profile, and all my kiddos said, "Do you use this reel, Mom?" I was doing a demo in a different class. So if I go here, we're gonna comment, not as me, but as we're just gonna say more, like, right? I want to see the video, or link, please. I think will make more sense. Because in there, it's like, do you want the link to the full video? So we're going to do link, please, and let that go. And a lot of times you'll see the same thing happening, but it'll be more of comment a specific keyword. So you can set it up to comment a keyword or any comment on a video. All of those things will work, right? That's one of the ways that my system's set up, which is a little different from other systems out there. All right, so now that's set up, we're going to go ahead and wait for it to be off. Let me go in here. Whoops. Cancel. And go in. There we go. It says Africa BAB replied to your comment. So the goodness is in your DM. So there's a comment that automatically went out. Like, I didn't lift a finger. You're like sitting here watching me. I didn't lift a finger. It automatically emailed over comments in your DMs. So we're just going to do that. We're going to go over now to the DMs and wait for that DM to come through. So it's doing two things. And I want to show you what this looks like on the back end. So I'm going to pop out of here for a second. We're going to come back here in just a second. We're going to go to the desktop. Y'all, there's a lot of screen moving around in this video. So this is, you're doing too much and still not getting paid. This is the Instagram DM structure. So I'm going to refresh it really quick. It's going to show us where we are in this flow. And I'm going to go over the flow with you really quickly too. Might be under, it was under general. Okay. I'll get back there in a sec. Okay. I always forget about the different things in there. All right. So here's the flow. So someone is on my Instagram page and my post is published. There's a few more details there. So I'll pop them out here. And it's this specific post, right? And as soon as it sees that, it brings it in, it responds on the comment, which you saw, and sends the DM, which is this part, which is where I am. That's me right there. Actually, it's me / my client, right? That's me right there. That's that little human. And so now let me switch back. I tell you, there's a lot of screen switching. And I realized not under primary, but under general. It's there. Send a message. So we're going to click on it. And it says Africa comes in hot during this video. She knows how exhausting it is to do all the things and still not see the results you want. And then it kind of goes over what the video covers. Now, your response doesn't have to be this long. Okay. And then just below where it talks about that, say drop the link in the button below. And then it says several people have been wanting to talk to Africa about their soul journey, business, etc. And hey, I also dropped the link for a Voxer vibe check. It's free. Let me know if you need anything else. Shimmer. Now, as you may or may not know, Shimmer is my digital familiar. That is the hardest working familiar ever. All right, so you can see there's two buttons there. You're doing too much and book my call. So I'm going to click on you're doing too much. When I click that button, it automatically brings up the video, right? Is that not amazing? And I could open the app, etc. Right? If, on the other hand, and I'm not going to do it right now, but we'll go back in there in a second. If, on the other hand, I want to say, I want that Voxer vibe check. I want to like actually do that thing and speak to Africa. And actually, Voxer vibe check. We don't talk. We're talking on Voxer, but I'm gonna click book my call. So clicking that sends a message, and then you can see it sent to me. Call has been requested, and then the way I set up my bot, it takes about 30 seconds between turns. Why'd I do this? Because sometimes we type a little bit of information, we type a little bit more and a little bit more, and so it just doesn't seem like conflicts. 30 seconds usually is enough. All right, so getting to where am I in the workflow again, right? So where am I in my workflow? Let's go back over to that. And I'm going to get that. Oh, where am I? Desktop. Here we are. So what we're going to do is come over here and you can see I'm here. I'm here in the flow. And we're going to go through and see what happens next. Let's go back over to the phone. Oh yeah, there's a lot of screen switching here. And I think even just before I found where I was looking for over there, you saw it come up. It's saying, hey, Tuesday at 4:30 is available. Should I book you in that slot? Well, we can say yes or no, or maybe. So I could say, no, I'd like a different time. No, I'd like a different time. Different. So it's going to look, it's going to check to see whether times are available for me to book my Voxer vibe check. And so we'll see what it says there. Okay, so right now, going back over to the desktop, I'm getting faster. I'm still here because I'm still engaging with this booking bot, right? It's not shallow, it's not, it's just a guide to help, because you know what? This conversation could be going on in the middle of the night. It could be going on while I'm taking a kid to the doctor, while I'm walking in the park, while I'm in meditation. And it's getting handled. That's what makes it so sacred. That's what makes the system scalable. All right, let me jump back over. Sometimes I'll come up here. And it says, no problem. Here are some other available slots. It's showing some slots. Would you like to claim? Which one would you like to claim for your Voxer vibe check? So I'm just going to talk into this because it might be a little bit faster. I'd like to do the one on Thursday at 2 p.m. Okay. So I told it Thursday at 2. We'll let it do its thing and book. And again, I'm still in that little piece. It's doing its job. It's asking the questions, right? It's being polite, right? And that's what makes it easy. Like, it's going through, like, before what happened, it provided the link so we could go watch the video. And now we're saying that we want to book a call. It's asking us about booking. It's not, it could send the link directly for us to go to another page and book, but instead of having us jump off the platform, it's like, hey, why don't I just ask you a few questions and see what's a good time for you? All right, and now it says I'm all booked. Thursday at 2 p.m. If you don't mind, there's a mantra for your journey. I love it. I trust the timing of my clarity. Lovely. Is there anything else I need? And so I'm just going to say, no, that's it for now. Thanks so much. Right. And just being, to me, I think it's so important with our technology to be polite, right? Because it mirrors that back to us. And we know all about being the mirror for other people, and for life being a mirror back to us for what's going on internally. So we get the mirror thing. So let's use it to our advantage, right? All right. So let's go back over here to the workflow itself. And this is, I shouldn't really be on here, really. I should be gone. It's booked me. Okay, so give it a second. I just refresh. You can see I went from there to just gone. Why am I gone? Because the appointment is booked, and it sent me a notification. So that's how I find out appointments booked. I get a notification in the system that an appointment's been booked, which is nice. It's always nice to get those kinds of notifications, isn't it? Let me see if, because I didn't pull that up earlier, if I can pull up one of those notifications. Here we go. Oh, the bell. Let me show you the bell. Let me go back over here to the phone. I'm in my notifications, and there it says Mole Bell booked for the cosmic, for the thing. Here we go. There we go. Appointment created. And so it keeps me updated. So even if I wanted to jump in, let's say I was around and I wanted to jump in and stop the automation from happening with the AI bot, I could just jump in and start talking, and it would shut it down. Isn't that lovely? Okay, so let's see what else do we have. Let me go back to just me. Did y'all miss me a little bit when it was just me? All right. So I was thinking about showing you another automation, but wow, I think y'all have seen enough about how easy that this can actually be, right? And then there's still the other automation. So maybe I might show you. Let me see if I'm in here and it can show you. Because an appointment was just booked, right? And so once an appointment is booked, people still need confirmation emails, text messages, all sorts of things, right? And so I'm going to show you what happens really quickly. I think it is worth seeing the other automation. Hold on. Go back over to desktop. I pulled it up and I've already refreshed it. Okay, so what happens is once the appointment's booked, right, the person gets tagged. They look to see if it's being rescheduled or not based on if they have this tag. And then I get notified, of course, again, and they get this confirmation email and they get a confirmation text message, right? If they provided their phone number, they're going to get that text message. Then now here they are waiting 24 hours for the appointment to get another reminder. And then this shows you the reminder sequence that they go through. Okay? And then even after the appointment, just some things to catch up with people to make sure things are working the way that they wanted. Like, those are the kinds of things that are beautiful when you bring in automation that support you for following up with people automatically in a way that's supportive and supports them because they feel seen, they feel held, they feel like you care. I think that's, wow, like one of the best things about automation. So this whole time, we've been in the back end of Divine Systems AI, which is a platform that's part of the bonus that you get when inside my Magical Business Academy. I'm not here to really talk about Magical Business Academy, but it is a place where I help you build a business that supports your purpose sustainably, right? That's what happens in there. That's where a lot of my private clients are. So this is just one of those systems. It's an entire back end from CRM, these automations I showed you today, to courses and everything that is the back end technology of your business. Yeah, social media scheduling, the whole kit and caboodle, because again, like I said earlier, you don't want to have to manually schedule every single post. And a system like DSAI makes sure that you do it all at one time and it goes out on a schedule, right? That you create a sequence of emails that are supportive and those emails go out once a trigger is set off, like booking a call, okay? Or once someone opts in or pays for a product, the email goes out so they get access to that course or they get to access to that GPT or download or audio or whatever it is automatically, no matter what you're doing. Which brings me back around to your nervous system. Instead of feeling dysregulated and frazzled and overwhelmed and your business about to flame out, all of a sudden you're being able to take this huge breath, just this like sigh of relief. You might have even felt it during the video, right? Where your nervous system feels regulated and wonderful, supported, right? Because I said earlier, when you don't have systems in place, consciously or subconsciously, you push away clients, you push away business. You are invisible because your nervous system knows you can't handle that onslaught. So when you get systems in place that allow you to scale, all of a sudden You don't have to shrink anymore. You feel wonderful getting out there and sharing your gift with the world. Okay? You get to bring in all the peoples. It's a beautiful thing, and I love, love, love watching that happen with my clients. So now that you need systems that scale, and you know what some of those systems look like, you're ready to get visible. You're ready for clients. So go to that link at the top of the description, grab Activate Your Client Magnetism. I promise you, you're going to love it. You'll get 3 to 5 clients in 7 days without forcing a thing. Not one MF thing. That's what I love about it so much. 3 to 5 clients in 7 days. Walks you through exactly how to do it. And just so you know, I've got another video for you. It's right here. Why your spiritual business isn't taking off. It is not about content, I promise. Right? It's going to show you why the sacred structure work that we just went over is so important. It is part of the missing formula, but we'll get the rest of it in the video. Until then, peace, joy, love to you